Don't make fun of my hair. It's not funny. It's not amusing. It is a sad, sad reality that I'm living in, that we're all living through, hopefully living through, surviving in these trying times. So let's talk about error handling in cursors, because there was a speck of interest on Twitter about seeing something about this. So this is funny because I was stumped by this. And I was staring at it for a while, just not being able to figure it out. So what I'm going to do is create a table with the numbers 0 through 10 in it, right? So when we look at the results of just the select query, we're going to start at 0 and count up to 10. All right, so let's put that in the table, right? And then I guess we'll select star from the table just to prove them. I hope select star isn't too rough on this single column. Maybe I should add a computed column to stop myself from doing that. I don't know. I'm undecided on that. 0 through 10. So that's 11 rows altogether, right? It's sort of confusing when you see 1, 0, and then 11, 10 down there. At least it is for me, but I'm kind of dumb, so, you know. I have that going for me. So what originally started this, I was working on something. I mean, it was a similar setup. I was doing everything right too. I was using a cursor and I was using a table variable for all the right things, right? So I was using a table variable to catch errors, and I was using a cursor to iterate over something that I shouldn't, like, it was not a set-based thing that I could have just used a window function for. It was actually something that should be iterated over. It was re-enabling untrusted foreign keys, and I figured, hey, what better use for a cursor than enabling foreign keys? So what I have here in my setup is some dynamic SQL, and I just have this little variable in here to throw it away because I don't want to return the table results. I just want to look at the messages tab and show you what's going on. Then I have this thing over here, which is going to catch this query inside of the cursor. I'll get to that in a minute. And then I have a table that is going to catch error messages. And what I'm going to do after that is open my cursor and fetch everything into my variable here. And then, of course, while fetch status equals 0, I am going to print out my message with raise error. I'm going to execute my dynamic SQL, and then I'm going to try to fetch next into my variable. And I'm doing this inside of a try catch block because, working on SP_ human events, I have gotten quite enamored with the old begin, try, begin, catch, because error handling is I think pretty valuable when you're working with a big stored procedure, right? Knowing exactly where something happened, where the error was, what the error was, what was going on. That's really, really valuable stuff. And I know there's, a certain amount of error handling that is just maybe overboard, but what the hell? I like going overboard once in a while. You know why I like going overboard? Because it beats the crap out of being on a cruise ship. That's why. So let's, without too much further time wasting, let's run this whole thing and let's look at what happens. Now, if we go over to the messages tab, you're going to notice, I think, what I noticed. And the first thing you're going to notice is I forgot to set no count on. So we're going to get this one row back. But the other thing is that we kept getting the same error over and over again. We were stuck in an infinite loop. We did not just get 11 rows back because we moved on to the next one. We got, I don't know, however many this one. I'm not counting. Are you crazy? But we would keep hitting this error over and over again. We would keep dividing by 0 and we would never move on. Now, the way around this is to double up on our fetch next. And we actually need to take this right here and we need to put another version of it inside of the catch block. And now when I run this whole thing and I declare my cursor and I step through, what am I going to get? I'm going to get a row back from my error catching table variable, and over in the messages tab I'm going to get this, right, where we divided by 0 and we affected one row, we got an error, and then we went through and we did a bunch of stuff that actually would divide, right? And then we got this, and I don't know, we got one row effect. I don't really know. I don't really care. That's probably the select over here, right? But then back in that error catching table, we got the error number, the error severity, the error state, and the divide by zero, and the error message, which is divide by zero encountered. So there we go. That's that. That's how you do error handling inside of a cursor and still have your cursor make forward progress. If you only have the fetch next here, you're just going to get stuck in an infinite loop. But if you put a fetch next in the catch block, you will catch the error and then move on, and then you will start back here. Now, what I thought was a little weird about this is maybe like the fetch status thing, like not bailing out, but I don't know. Maybe I don't understand cursors. There's a lot I don't understand. Maybe cursors is one of those things that I will just hopefully never understand. Or maybe I want to understand them. I don't know. Maybe my next training module will be all about the wonders of cursors. Wouldn't that be fun for you? Thanks for watching.